Welcome to Pullback. I'm Kyla, and I'm here with my friend Kristen.
Hello.
Trying to be a good person can be overwhelming in our complex global marketplace. In this podcast, we try to make it a little easier by looking at the details behind consumer movements, product labels, and ethical lifestyles. Each episode, we challenge ourselves to try something new in ethical consumption, and then we tell you what we learned, fuck-ups and all. And this episode is just a little bit of a recap about the fuck-ups that we've had for Veganuary, of which there was more than none, unfortunately.
It was a non-zero amount, yeah.
I mean, how did you feel about now? Because we released our Veganuary episode at the end of January, but we recorded it in the middle of January. So
Yes.
How are you feeling now that the challenge is over?
I feel very mixed. Like, I oscillate wildly between having moments where all I want is pizza. Specifically pizza. And moments where I'm like, I'm fine, I could just be vegan forever. And it's really hard to predict which one of those I am at any given moment.
Honestly, that's a really good way to put it. Like, I feel the same way, where I'm like, oh, being vegan is super easy and I could do it forever. But also, if I don't eat a shortbread cookie right fucking now, I will flip a table over. So, like, I don't know. How do you feel like you're gonna do in February?
So I think, I'm not quite sure yet, but I think I'm going to stick to being mostly vegan. I'm not sure I can yet commit to giving up pizza all the time.
But there's so much good, like, alternative cheese now that you can make, like, your own pizza with.
I've yet to have any.
Whoa, that is some shade.
Fair, I know. I mean, I've had good vegan cheese, but not on pizza. So, like, throughout this month, what I've been doing is just getting cheeseless pizzas, which I also like, but it doesn't really fulfill that gooey craving as much. I don't know. I think I'm going to try my best to mostly be vegan, but okay, sometimes you go into a restaurant and your friend has made a brunch reservation and you just don't want to have a 15-minute conversation with the waitress. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but it is sometimes upwards of like 3 minutes where you're negotiating like, okay, well, you can't make this vegan, but what about this thing? Could you take out the cheese and is there honey in the dressing? And like, sometimes you just want to sit down and not think about your food before you eat
and
it.
not have to pay like $15 for a salad you could have made at home because it's the only vegan thing on the menu.
I know. I had that happen to me at a brunch where the only thing that could be made vegan was like this kale salad, which was a very nice kale salad, but ultimately it was kale and pumpkin seeds, and I paid $15 for it.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Well, and like my thing is that I keep getting like free food. So my most recent fail was like I went to a really fancy coffee shop in Seattle because I was on a tour there, and I was like, okay, like I want a chocolate drink. And they're like, oh yeah, our chocolate is vegan. We'll make it with like vegan milk. And I was like, oh, you guys are the best. I was like, are any of your pastries vegan? And they're like, no. And I was like, that's okay. I'll have oatmeal because I'm a responsible Veganuary person. And then this coffee shop was so fancy that at one point they came around and gave everybody fresh slices of chocolate cake. And that's where I broke. They were like, here's a free piece of huge chocolate cake. You can see the steam coming off of it because it's so fresh out of the oven. And I was like, fuck, yes, please.
I feel like sometimes you give me shit for being in places that are too fancy, and never have I been in a place that gives me free chocolate cake.
This was somebody else's idea, and it was in Seattle, which I feel like as a city is so extra.
That's true. Seattle is very extra.
So, like, I'm gonna try, I think, to be more vegan moving forward, but if someone brings me a free slice of fresh chocolate cake that's still warm from the oven, like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to say no every time.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out because, so, before I went vegetarian, I was flexitarian for a while, and I found that I didn't actually effectively reduce my meat consumption when I was trying to do that, like, I'm a person that needs strict rules. So I'm trying to figure out how I do that because I don't think I'm ready for full veganism. I think eventually I might be, but not right now. And so like, maybe I could set myself a budget of like 3 cheeses a month. Because I don't think I really need eggs for anything, but you know.
Yeah, I haven't missed eggs at all, except for when I accidentally ate a soft pretzel at the hockey game I went to, and I realized afterwards that they make it with eggs. And I was like, oh, drat, soft pretzels are off the table now. No.
God damn it.
But I other than like that, I haven't missed eggs at all. So I think I might just cut eggs. I think that might be my win from Veganuary.
That's not bad. Battery cages are a nightmare.
I guess it was a really valuable tool to do it for a month. Like the first 2 weeks were way harder for me than the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
So I'm going to push through, but I'll be honest, I'm going to keep eating fish. Honestly, I think on February 1st, like the first thing I might do is go buy a jar of anchovies and make myself a pizza with vegan cheese, but with anchovies on it.
Wow.
So it's like all I've been thinking about is how badly I want anchovies.
No, that's fair.
So I don't know. I guess as soon as we do our fish farming episode, like I'll chill out. But yeah, give us your reading. What did you have for us?
So one of the things that I was doing as like a motivation thing was like I was reading stuff about how shitty eating animals is throughout the month. I found it really made me feel better when I had cravings. But there's this one passage it's a book called We Are the Weather. And basically it's this guy that he got famous from writing a book on not eating animals, but he's actually not vegetarian. And he says he never will be vegetarian. But he's writing another book about how we need to eat less meat for the climate. His name's Jonathan Safran Foer. And he's got this really honest passage about it. So I want to just see if I can find it. So this is from We Are the Weather by Jonathan Safran Foer. And I think it's about like one of the challenges of making your morals match your practices, which he recognizes that he doesn't do. So here we go. While I was promoting eating animals, people frequently asked me why I wasn't vegan. The animal welfare and environmental arguments against dairy and eggs are the same as those against meat and often stronger. Sometimes I would hide behind the challenges of cooking for two finicky children. Sometimes I would bend the truth and describe myself as effectively vegan. In fact, I had no answer other than the one that felt too shameful to voice. My desire to eat cheese and eggs was stronger than my commitment to preventing cruelty to animals and the destruction of the environment. I found some relief from the tension by telling other people to do what I couldn't do myself. Confronting my hypocrisy has reminded me how difficult it is to live, even to try to live with open eyes. We do not simply feed our bellies, and we do not simply modify our appetites in response to principles. We eat to satisfy primitive cravings, to forge and express ourselves, to realize community. We eat with our mouths and our stomachs, but also with our hearts and our minds. All my different identities are present when I eat, and so is my history. I just thought that was really nice.
Yeah, I really appreciate what he's saying there, for sure. Like, I feel that.
Veganism's hard.
So if you guys want to check out our major episode that we did on Veganuary, that's in our feed. You can like and subscribe. You can leave us an amazing review. Yeah, if you want to catch us, we're going to be releasing a sugar episode in February, which is going to be a real treat. So check us out for that. And if you want to reach us, you can get us on Twitter at Pullback Podcast. We'll see you later. I guess sounds weird, but it's a healthy snack and it's just in the fridge and ready to go.
You're like Anne from Arrested Development. In no other ways than the egg snack, but
I appreciate that deeply. Thank you.